Hey, everybody, and thank you for joining us again for another incredible story. This time we have Bryant here who is going to share his journey on how he was able to land his current position working in GRC. So, Bryant, thank you so much for coming and joining us today.
Thank you. I appreciate you being here. You
Yes.
know, this whole process has been really, invigorating for me because I felt like I was kind of destitute with the whole hiring process. So much has changed since I've been in the process, and it just felt like it was just overwhelming. So I was trying a lot of different things and kind of grasping at straws, and not really getting results that I was looking for. And then I happened to stumble upon a message that you, well, a post that you had put out there on LinkedIn, and I decided, well, I'm gonna give it a chance. I'm gonna try. So I replied to your link, and we met and we set up an interview panel discussion, and it was probably one of the best things I did because it really helped me realize that there was things that I definitely need to do better to start for these interviews and to be more prepared for them. And it really changed everything for me once I did that. And the interviews kept coming. They were long. Some of them were long. Some of them were like 2 hours interview, and I was sweating through some of those interviews. But I made it through, and now I've got the job that I'm really happy to have. I owe it all to you right now because I feel like you really got me ready for the whole process and told me exactly what to say and what not to say, what strengths I need to accentuate in my interviews. So I really feel like it really helped me get ready for everything that happened to me. So I
Oh,
appreciate that.
thank you, Bryant. And let's just say this, okay? I could tell you all the tips and strategies, but you literally took that info, applied it, and were able to make this opportunity come to you, right? And so you need to be patting yourself on the back because
Yeah,
had you have not put in that work, had you have given up, you wouldn't have been in the role that you're in now.
you're right about that.
Yeah, I hope every now and then you say like, I did that.
Oh well, I did do it, but I mean, I just didn't really. I guess I really didn't understand the importance of myself being involved in the process. And what I mean by that is, I think sometimes we think we know exactly what's going to be asked, and we know exactly how to present ourselves a certain way. But there's always a certain critique about yourself that you have to be willing to listen to, and you have to be willing to learn different things at different times. So I think that that's something that I want everybody to take away from this is to know that you don't know everything and you don't have all the answers, but what you can do is to listen and try your best to do everything that you can and be involved in the process.
Yeah.
That's the best advice I can give you.
Now, when you say be involved in the process, what are you referring to?
Just be willing to take the critiques because there's things that we all say and do that we shouldn't do, but we just don't know any better. Um, Take those critiques. If it's things you need to learn about the job, you need to brush up on them, figure it out because they're gonna be a lot of different questions that are gonna come your way, and you have to be willing to articulate why you are the piece that is actually for that particular company that you're actually vying the job for. And that's, I guess, one of the really uh, significant things that I really pay attention to is what do I bring to your company that is different from a lot of the other different candidates that are out there. So, and that's where you have to present yourself.
Right, right. And you know what? I remember when you and I talked, um, we had done the resume, if I have this
Mhm.
correct, did your resume. We did a mock interview, and then you ended up joining Cybe Tribe. And
Mhm.
so, can you tell us a little bit about that whole experience there?
Well, it's a lot of the same people that were just like me. They were interviewing for jobs or probably having a lot of interviews, not get callbacks, or um, it's a lot of different things. I just think that the job market right now, it's with AI and everything the way it is now. The way that we traditionally have done things is totally different now, and you have to participate and show up in a different way. So that's what I think everyone has to understand is things have changed now. You have to be willing to change with that, make that change with the change. So um, just be present and be willing to make those changes and know that it's for the better. And if you do that, then the good things will come.
That's right. That's absolutely right. And you're right. Like, gone are the days of just like having a resume that has anything on it and thinking that that's what's going to get you a call back. Like, it really needs to be tailored. Or gone are the days of just showing up to an interview and just trying to wing it, right? Like,
Yeah.
you've got to be prepared, especially if you're transitioning. Um, it's really the key. And so you were able to come in, get these things done. You said you had an interview that was 2 hours long.
Oh, it was gruesome. And that was one of the longest interviews. I got grilled. When I was done, I was just like, I had to take a deep breath. I was just like, what just happened? I feel like I'm prior military, and I felt like I went through the snake pit where I just got grilled by drill instructors for like 2 hours straight, and that was rough.
Yeah.
It was a really big auditing company, and they're very well known. But it was a panel of two men and two women, and they grilled me for 2 hours straight,
Oh my
and I
God.
still didn't get the job.
But you know what? That's
It
okay.
didn't stop me though.
You got, because what ended up happening, you didn't get that one, but what happened?
Exactly. The next interview that I got the job. So I mean, it was worth it to me. I had to go through that. That was part of the process.
And
So
that's what I tell people all the time is like, and tell me if you would agree with this or if you disagree completely. Sometimes people give up way too early. Their breakthrough is
oh
after that last rejection or after the
yeah.
last 10th rejection. But you keep going and you keep getting better, and eventually your offer ends up being yours. Would you agree with that, or would you say no?
I agree with that. I think we just are so anxious and so ready for this to change for us. It's gonna happen when it's gonna happen. You just have to be present, keep showing up and doing the things that you can do to make yourself be the best person that you can, and realize that hey, this is going to change. It's just you have to find the right company that is a good fit for you, and you are a good fit for them.
That's right. Because, like, I try to tell people this too. You might have gotten an offer, but that don't mean that it's a good offer for you.
Exactly.
And
So
so,
I got a job offer before from a company that they told me that the guy left, and the reason why he left was because the executives didn't believe in his work. That they didn't feel like the work was adequate enough for the pay that they were paying him. So I asked a question, and I asked him, I was like, okay, well, if you feel that way, then why are you still trying to hire someone? Because that's an indictment on your company. And
yeah,
that's something that you have to really look at yourself internally and figure out, okay, what are we doing and why are we doing it? And what kind of person are we really trying to attract? Because if you're just trying to put a butt into a seat,
and that's
you
what
can easily do that, but
And that's what happens sometimes. And I tell people, and to all of you listening, I'm going to give you this tip. I tell everybody I work with, do not become emotionally entangled in any job opportunity. Do not
Exactly.
do that because you'll have blinders on. And so they will say things like that. They will say things like, oh, there's issues with this manager. People tend to leave. And you'll say, oh, but it's okay because I get along with a lot of people. But you're not listening to those red
Yeah, yeah, exactly. They're telling you something and they want you to know that. So you need to be
flags.
able to listen to that and understand how that's going to affect you.
And it's like when you're working in GRC or cybersecurity, you take on a lot of potential liability, right? And so
Yes.
you need to make sure that whatever offer you do accept is a good offer for you. And so I like the fact that you mentioned that piece because far too many people are going through rejection after rejection. They get that offer, they think this is it, I have to take it, but it could end up being a nightmare. And so good for you for listening to your intuition and saying, maybe I won't go for this one. I'll wait for the next one. And so, what are you doing now?
Well, this actually weekend, I'm actually traveling with my company. I'm going out to California on a business trip
Oh,
to view some different areas and do some inspections out there. So I mean, I'm enjoying my time. Been with the company now for about 4 months, so it's uh it's been a refreshing. Uh I guess you would say it's been refreshing trying to get into a new company and trying to starting from the ground up, kind of building uh, your knowledge base and getting everything together. I've enjoyed it so far. It's been a lot of work. It's been a lot of work.
okay.
The person that I replaced left the company in January, so for about 3 months there was no one doing the job. So that 3 months of work pretty much got thrown in my lap. It's like, hey, it's yours now. So you just pick it up and you just keep going, and you do what you do a little bit at a time. Now I'm all caught up and going through everything. So we just keep moving. That's all you can do.
And I didn't ask you this. What is your title and what do you do?
I am the PCI coordinator,
Okay.
and I'm a cybersecurity analyst for a Fortune 500 company, um, and it's a pretty large company, but it's just it's a little bit of everything. But I touch everything GRC corporate wide. So, and I deal with a lot of stakeholders. So it's been a really challenging and refreshing job, though. I enjoy it.
I love
So,
that. And you're taking trips.
oh,
Okay.
yeah.
Let's
Got a
go.
couple more planned later on this year too. So,
Nice. Well, you know what? I'm going to ask you one final question that I think everybody is wanting to know. What is one piece of advice or tip that you would give to somebody who is job hunting, looking to enter the field of GRC, but is feeling stuck? What would you say to that person?
know your business, know exactly what your strengths are, and how they can affect the business that you are going into. Because when you talk to that, it comes across that you know exactly what you're talking about. And that's going to get the attention of people. And that's what you want those people to hear is that you're talking to someone that's professional and knows exactly what they're talking about and can speak to any problem that you have. One of the things that I've always been real big on is when I was in the military, I was in the Air Force for 22 years. So I was a problem solver. So that was a nickname that a lot of my upper management gave me. It's like, hey, look, if anybody can figure it out, it's him. Like, give it to him, he'll figure it out. So that's something that I wear as a badge of honor. I feel like I can figure out anything if you give me a chance, give me a little time, I'll figure it out. So doing that actually shows the company that, hey, look, if we run into a problem, this guy, he's going to help us figure it out. So we need people like that. We need people that can be a program for change and can help us make those changes and can figure it out. So that is a strength. So that's something that you definitely have to know about yourself, and you have to be able to project it as well.
Yes. Oh, the problem solving. Because even myself as a business owner, I can 100% back that. We want people
Yes,
who are going to solve problems, not create them for us.
exactly. I used to always tell my troops, "Hey, you either gonna be a part of the problem or part of the solution.
Here we
If
go.
you're not gonna be part of the solution, not gonna be a problem for me." So
That's
I
okay.
guess.
Oh my gosh, that is so true. Oh, I've got one more question for you before we wrap up. So, talk to me about your time in Cybe Tribe. What was that like for you?
Well, it was good. Like I said, the networking that you talk to other people and you hear their stories, you can learn things for them as well. And then there's things that I was telling them that could help them as well. So I think just having the networking and the connections and just hearing it from another voice that is going through the same thing as you, sometimes that's the little extra motivation that you need to keep going, because we all just think it's just, but when you look at the big picture, everybody's going through the same thing when you're looking for a job. So I mean, it's just something that we all have to adjust to and adapt and overcome it.
And you know what? I hear that a lot, even from other people who have landed their roles. They all say like the community inside of Cybe Tribe was what helped them to keep going. They're like, 'cause they would have lost
Yeah.
their mind.
Oh yeah, it's very frustrating. I was getting 8 to 10 rejection letters a day. So I mean, how it has to affect you in some kind of way, but you just have to understand that, hey, look, I wasn't a good fit for them,
Yep.
and I'm not always going to be a good fit for every company, but there's going to be one out there that's going to look at me and say, hey, you know what? This is the guy I want, and that's all I need.
All you need
That's
is
all I
one.
need.
I tell
That's all I need.
everybody, I
Yeah.
know this is a crazy perspective, but I tell everybody, learn to love those rejections.
Yeah.
Learn to let it fuel you and excite you and say, yes, they rejected me. Now I can focus on a company that is in alignment for me. Right.
Mm-hmm.
And I always
Yes.
say the rejections are not the company not wanting you. It's this isn't meant to work out for you with them.
No, probably not. And sometimes I look at it, and at some of the jobs that I applied for, I wouldn't have fitted, and I wouldn't have done very well because just what was expected probably wasn't going to be in alignment with what I was going to bring to the table. So sometimes you have to count your blessings before they even actually give it to you, because sometimes it just happens. Things always work out a certain, and when it's for you, it'll happen.
There we go. Oh man, Bryant, you just brought so much joy. I know people are listening to this and whoever is feeling like, man, what's going on? You heard it straight from Bryant. He went through this journey. He went through this process. He went through sometimes 8 rejections in a single day. A
Mm-hmm.
2 hour long interview where he still didn't get the job, but guess what? He
I
kept
didn't
going.
give up.
Yep,
Didn't
he
give up.
got his job offer, has been on the road for 4 months, and is taking a business trip this weekend.
Oh yeah, I'm
Yeah.
ready.
I'm so proud of
Definitely.
you, Bryant. I'm so, so, so proud of you. I tell you that all the time, but I'm just so proud of you.
Thank you. I appreciate you, all the help that you gave me. Like I said, it's it was really like I said, when I was doing this, I was really frustrated, but I was just like, I gotta figure out a way to do this. But I know that there's a way out. I just have to figure out the right person to help me to get this done. And you were that person. You
Oh,
were that person. So I definitely appreciate you.
I thank God, man. He's the reason why all of this is happening. And I'm just grateful to be a part of your journey, a part of all the incredible people's journey who we're doing this with now. Um, I can't even take the credit, man, because you put in the work and you made this happen.
No, yeah, definitely. I appreciate you.
So, all right, with that being said, I hope you have an amazing trip. I'm not going to keep you. And to those of you who are watching, I hope you enjoyed this session. Definitely stay tuned because we have some more people coming up shortly who are going to be talking about their journey into landing their job offers in GRC. And if you haven't already, check out some of the other incredible stories we have too, such as Ian and Vincent and Thomas and all of the other incredible stories of incredible people who have shared their journey. So until next time.